All right, gang. Let me start this video by saying I know I'm going to get some hate mail for this. I don't care. So, I've been needing to properly ground my station. And by properly ground, I mean actually fully grounded, right? Right now, I have a grounding strap coming in from a grounding rod on the outside of the house, in this case, my garage, that I have attached haphazardly to my gear. And it works, right? But it's not great. I keep meaning to do the right thing and buy a grounding bus bar and blah, 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 blah. And you know what? And that never gets done. So guess what? I'm in the shop. I'm thinking around. I find some 1.5-inch angle iron. Guess what? I'm going to make myself a grounding bar. So let me take you along on this ride. Is this optimal? No. Will it work? Yeah, you bet. You know, if lightning strikes, I would much rather have a piece of this attached to my radio and then to my ground strap than to not have this at all. So let's go and see what we can make out of this. So what we have here is that angle iron on my vise, and we're going to mark it up to see where we're going to put holes at. So this is 1.5 inches, so we're going to mark it up at 3/4 of an inch. At a couple of places so that we have a nice place to make a straight line from. Is this critical? No. Do I like it to look pretty? Yeah, for the most part. So let's see. We're going to get a straight edge, put it between the lines, clamp it up. All right, so I have that straight edge lined up on the marks that I made. I'm going to take my scribe and I'm just going to run it down the line so that I have a reference point, right? Good. So let me score that again just to make sure. I can see it, but I think I need to make it a little bit more stout for the camera to actually see it. So my eyes see it. I don't know if your eyes will be able to see it through the camera or not. Or let me take a look at the shot and see. Let's see. Yeah, that's a nice shiny spot. Nice straight long line. Great. Next, we're going to mark it up every inch from edge to edge so that we have a place to drill some holes. Okay. Scribe is there. Don't mind my microphone cable there. Are these marks perfect? No. Is that line perfect? No. If I wanted perfection, I'd hire a pro. All right, time to mark it up. Look. Again. Perfect? No, this is just getting it close enough. Do you have to do this? No. Is it nice? Yeah, it makes the drilling a whole lot easier. All right, so I have this puppy clamped up. It's at an angle, so it's a little easier for me to drill. I'll be flipping it over later on, but for now, you have an idea. I'm going to go ahead and drill a couple of holes, and then, you know, we'll do the internet magic editing thing, and then we'll bring you back when this thing is done. I could really use a drill press right about now. Well, we're bound now. So, you get the idea. We're going to do this, 16 more times? Whatever the length of that thing is. -2. All right. So, today is next week now. Because, you know, life happens. And last time I just finished drilling holes on this piece of angle iron. Made one nice big hole. This hole will accommodate the grounding cable that I have coming into the garage. And then all these holes are just barely big enough to fit some screws I had on hand. Keep in mind that all I'm doing is using the stuff I have on hand without going to the store and buying any more stuff to just get some grounding going, okay? This is, again, not supposed to be perfect, but it's supposed to be better than nothing, right? So the idea is, look, ground your Hamshack however you can until you can get it perfect. Until then, good enough is still good enough. So the holes are drilled. Hardware that I have are some screws here. Have to double check. I think these are 632s. And the holes that I drilled were 1/4 inch, I believe, to fit that. Let me see. No, those are not 1/4 inch. Those are 5/32, I think. Something like that. The drill bit is mangled, so can't really read it. Anyhow, I just took a pair of calipers to this, took a pair of calipers to that, you know, found the nearest acceptable drill bit I had. Again, not trying to get complicated with buying extra stuff, just getting some grounding going meantime. So next I'm going to scour pad all of this and underneath and get all the burrs off of it so that then I can get the grounding going. Just getting rid of the slivers from the drilling. I don't want to put any steel in my fingers when I'm doing work. So just grind them off. Again, I had a Dremel and whatnot handy. It could have been done with some heavy sanding paper or deburring tool if you want to get fancy with it. You know, whatever it takes to just, you know, not end up with some steel in your fingers when you're working with it. So again, making do with what I have. Have some 1/4 inch hardware here. Everybody has that pile of stuff that you go to the hardware store for a project and you end up always getting something extra because you know you're going to screw it up. So you may as well get extra so you don't have to go to the back of the hardware store. Well, that's what I have. So this, again, making do with what I have. Planning on making a battery setup. I made the terminals for it already. Haven't gotten the battery to do Parachute Mobile with HF yet. So in the meantime, I'm going to use the cable that I've already prepped for that. No need to get crazy with it, right? Back to the drawing board. Okay, multimeter is handy, and hopefully you can hear that in the microphone. So, way out on the last connector to the grounding connector. Life is good, yeah? From there to grounding connection binding, and then I'm gonna, it's off camera so you can't see it, but I'm reaching over to the entry point into the house, into the garage. Yep. Cool. Let's see how that should be 0. Yeah, 0 ohms. Not a whole lot of resistance on that. It's a pretty thick cable for what I'm doing with it. And next I'm going to make a couple of cables with ring terminals to attach to this. I'm going to put this on the wall, and then I'm going to attach those cables to here and to the radio and the power supply and everything else that I need to ground. Come back to this in a minute. So off camera, I went ahead and put all the screws and nuts through the bar and attached it to the wall. So next I'm going to attach the main grounding cable there, and then the equipment grounding cables to these, and attach them again with another nut on top of that to, you know, get this stuff grounded. Okay, so the bar's attached to the wall. I have my main grounding set up over there. Can I pan over there without getting too shaky? As you can see, it's all leading out. I'm going to take you to the exit, but trust me, it's there. It is grounded to a grounding rod. 8 feet deep into the dirt. Yep. Did that over summer. So now it's really time to test to make sure that, we still have a good ground. Hang on. It helps when I have the multimeter in the right mode. There we go. Yep. And it's there. So far, so good. I'm touching now on my radio's grounding lug. Let's see. There we go. Let's touch on the power supply's grounding lug. Yep. And on my antenna and on my tuner. So everything is on the same common ground. Again, not best practice the way I did it, but it works, right? All told, I have maybe 90 minutes of work into this, and all in cost, I don't know, because I just used the stuff that I had. So there it is. My project is complete. I have grounding in my station. Life is grand. This topic's been beat to death by many, many better people than me. There's a link right there to the ARRL's page on this topic. So if you want to read up some more, what I've done is just a simple lightning ground, nothing else. There's other kinds of ground. I'm not going there right now. Just simple grounding. I'll also put it in the description. Have fun, get your station grounded, and ham harder. And if this was useful, give me that thumbs up, and maybe subscribe, maybe hit the bell. I don't know, whatever the thingamajig is, whatever. Thanks. See ya.